Let's understand my definition of righteousness. And let me think about it, right? Because sometimes you got to think before you run your mouth. What I would say the definition of righteous means is, first of all, you have to have the right thought. And sometimes, I don't know what y'all thinking about, but obviously whatever y'all thinking about is being revealed. And it's not always good, right? That's clear as day as we can see. Then once you have to have the right thought, you must have the right look, right? I'm not saying dress up in holier than thou clothes, but at least look decent, look respectable, look professional. That's what Allah did. Since y'all all want to mimic Allah in certain areas, he dressed up in suits. He dressed up casual. He dressed up ready to do business at any given moment. If you look at some of the reflections that he have and we have on him. So after you think right and look right, then you must be right in your behaviors. As we say, it's not what you do when you come around me, it's when you leave. So that means you're supposed to be on your right behavior at all times from an ethical point of view. Right? Right.
That's, and not to cut your wisdom, but that's something I always, when I first started coming around, thought was an interesting thing out of me was, I was sitting in Cypher listening to brothers build.
Yeah, sound good, don't they?
They have magnificent builds about this and that, right?
Mm-hmm.
As soon as they step out the Cypher, they go to the corner, they're smoking this, they're drinking that, they're talking this way.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, as a newborn, it was always like confusing to me, you know?
Very confusing, because they walk didn't mimic they talk, and they talk was left field.
Right.
Right? So would you follow that? Would you follow somebody who's talking good but have nothing to show for it? I don't think so. So righteousness comes with right thought, right look, right behavior, then right speech. Right? Now, a lot of us are great orators. We know how to talk Jesus off the cross if that was the case. If we could have been there when he was allegedly crucified, we were able to tell Pilate, hey man, hey man, we need to get Jesus off that cross there because he don't belong there. And we all know, if you study history, he never was crucified anyway. He's crucified a whole nother way if you study, right? And that's a whole nother subject matter in itself. My point though is, righteousness is doing the right thing when nobody's watching. Righteousness is knowing what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. Righteousness is knowing that I had an incident the other day right here in my complex here with a young man who got out of turn with disrespect and how he talked to me. And I corrected his error immediately when he apologized. You know what I'm saying? And those are the type of things that when they see that you're not afraid to correct them, then, and you come about it in the right way, 9 times out of 10, proper wisdom will take out fires. Water do take out fires because you know how to suffocate that fire so it doesn't allow, and it's not allowed to breathe. You know what I mean? So I think when we're dealing with righteousness, man, we got to be very, very mindful about what we're doing out here. Allah is seen, then heard, not the other way around if you know your lessons, right? The 37th degree speaks on that. Allah is seen doing what? If you're doing devilishment, if you're doing things that's not clean, that's uncivilized, and that's who you are. Don't put God on it. Just give me your regular name. Some will say your government name. Add on to that. Don't be wearing our flag. You know, our flag, speaking about that flag for a second, is the outward side of your inner grace. Meaning, you're supposed to embody those things without even wearing the flag. Right? That flag is a right and exact science. Right? You can't be victorious being a dum-dum. You can't be victorious doing dumb things, talking dumb, speaking dumb, looking dumb, and acting dumb. And then you become blind, deaf, and dumb, talking about you got knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. You know how confusing that is? Don't confuse the youth no more than they're already confused. Right now, the youth need guidance. Right now, the youth need leadership. Right now, the youth need right direction. They need clean gods, clean earths that are straight thinking. They got clear vision, and they unselfish in their service, right? Because our job, for those who are caught up in the scripture, the servant right? That's who you claim to be, right? Who knew? You claim to know. The will, right? The intent. What is the objective? What is the purpose? Is to what? Uplift the minds that are caught in triple stage darkness so they can see the light. And you got to be that light. And if you're not that light, that means you caught up in darkness. How can darkness lead darkness out of darkness? Please let me know. Anybody out there in social media land, show and prove to me how darkness can lead someone out of darkness who's living in darkness. Let me know. I'm always available if you can show and prove that. And I know that you can't.